Station.
All right, Sunday today looking just like Saturday. We're going to go with partly cloudy skies, hot and humid, highs in the lower 90s, scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up on the radar as well, so look out for those. We'll see a few early on this evening, and then we should see temperatures fall back into the middle 70s under partly cloudy skies. At the beginning of your work week, same deal, afternoon thunderstorms, highs near 90. From the CBS 12 Storm Track Center, I'm meteorologist Craig Gold for Real Radio.
94.3 Real Radio.
The following views are those of the host and not those of Clear Channel Broadcasting licenses.
Have you gone to the doctor recently because of pain throughout your body for which there seems to be no relief? Introducing Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. The Dr. Pinozzo Sports and Medicine Hour will bring you a new technique to resolve painful issues throughout the body. Dr. Pinozzo has worked with over 65,000 patients over 40 years and has developed a revolutionary approach to pain treatment. His treatment allows fast and effective treatment of pain without narcotics, surgery, and physical therapy. There is no manipulation or alternative approaches. Weight-bearing and the return of normal range of motion without pain is the best-kept secret this man has to deliver. So, get ready to call in and ask all of your painful questions and get the answers you've been looking for. Now, here's today's edition of Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, South Florida. Good morning, Dr. Pinozzo.
Good morning. Good morning.
And good morning, Freddie. It's good to have you back from your son's graduation. Hope you had a great time.
Yes, I did. Good morning.
And Freddie is the guy that helps us produce this beautiful show and get us on the streaming to meet with Dr. Pinozzo. Last week, we left with about 5 calls. So if anyone wants to get in to talk to Dr. Pinozzo, let me give you the number now while the show has just got started. The hotline number is 877-927-6969, and Dr. Pinozzo will be here to answer every question. Right, Doc?
Every question, I hope.
It seems that scoliosis seems to be, I have people that have been texting us and writing us in emails about scoliosis, and this first one really, really got to me, and I hope you don't mind if I start the show with this one, Doc. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
It's actually a letter, and I don't want to bore everybody, but she said, my scoliosis was discovered in a routine check. I was 11. My mom took me to a specialist, and they wanted $5,000 for a back brace when I entered into the hospital. This was an excellent resource. People knew so much about scoliosis, and guess what? I had bone fusion and everything else, and I'm still not the way I should be.
That's the way it is, yeah.
Why, Doc? Why does an 11-year-old girl suffer?
Well, because scoliosis does not require surgery.
Okay.
Ever. And does not require braces. See, when you have a problem like that, you don't want to restrict the motion because it causes more scar tissue. The reason it's curved in the first place is because there's a little piece of scar tissue between those bones that prevents them from coming normal alignment.
Wow. And
we did the research on that. And my son in Arizona, 2,000 miles away, did independent research on it also. I'd call him up and, what do you think of this? And he would try it out. It's well-researched, and it's routine business for us now. We treat scoliosis every day, and it's coming out. You can watch it resolve right in front of your eyes.
Amazing.
In a lot of cases.
We've seen that. We've actually seen it. We photographed a lot of it.
And we see them on X-ray. So we see how it is here after the treatment. It's the next view, and it shows a big difference right then and there. And it only takes 2 or 3 minutes.
Amazing.
Now, those listening to this think this guy's out of his mind.
Right.
I understand this.
No, he's not, folks. We know that, right, Fred?
That's correct.
See, I was out of my mind before I discovered this. We didn't know what to do. Now we know what to do exactly. We know where the scar tissue is. We know how to resolve it. We know how to ease it off so that the bones return to normal structure. And it's any age. The younger you are, the easier it is. Les, I had 2 young girls scheduled to come in for this. And it was gratis. I was just going to do it for them, as long as they were able to get filmed, with the results. Anyway, both young, one 18, one 22, and neither one showed up.
I don't understand why.
I don't understand this because, you know, girls, I'm offering you something that you can't buy anywhere. And when I offer it to you, you come and take it. There's no downside to it. You can't get hurt. You can only improve. Why not come in? It's just nuts. I
Well,
mean, it just,
what I don't understand, and this to me totally boggles my mind.
It's a denial.
Why?
Well, they say, well, it's going to get better anyway. That's a denial.
Oh, yeah, you can't get scoliosis,
it's all psychological, you know. And pretty soon they get to be 30, and, well, it's going to go away. And then they're 40, and then they're 50. It does not go away, girls.
Doc, I saw some of those letters. There must have been 40 or 50
Yeah.
that came in.
Unbelievable. I'm crying reading this one right here.
These are all typical stories. Once you're operated, you've had it. I mean, there's huge scar tissue in there. That alone causes pain in your,
It's gotten worse.
and
gets worse.
it gets worse. Yeah. So we don't want any surgery at all done. That's why I did research on this. I mean, I had nothing else to do one day, so I said, let's do research on scoliosis. It's a real problem. I'm just joking.
So when we're all out playing golf, eating dinner, having fun, you're researching
And I'm
scoliosis.
doing research. You know, I wake up and 2 or 3 in the morning thinking about this stuff.
This is the kind of doctor I want in my corner when I have a problem. I mean,
And yeah, you get inspiration no matter where you are. You know, I was watching a funny program one day, and I was thinking about migraine, and it came to me where migraine actually starts, because it's not treated that way. It's treated as something ethereal. I don't know. There's no. You see, in medicine, you need a basis on which to treat. You need to put your hand on it. You need to put your finger on it. You need to see it in a microscope. You need evidence of what you're treating. There is no evidence when you use a term like migraine.
okay. So
None
it's
at all.
cause of pain.
And they're treating it with medication that has no. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but if you don't have a structure to treat, it can't do anything. By the way, we know what causes migraine now because we did the research on it. Like I said, we do research all the time. And we treat those. Well, you saw that 28-year-old
Oh,
guy who
God.
had headaches for 14 years, right?
14 years. His mother came in. She was recommended by 3 people
So I
to
said,
see you.
I said, he had 2 pains. One temporal mandibular joint, which is another headache, but it's a different pattern. Anyway, I said, you want to get rid of this thing? It's one shot. And I did that. And what did he say? 2 minutes
Oh,
later.
my God.
He said, oh, my God.
He walked in, Freddie, with no. He was. You could see the pain his kid was in. His mother said to me,
Yeah.
"We've been everywhere. This was my last choice." Now, when you hear that word, last choice, let me just repeat something. Let your second opinion be your first. Before you go for that knife, before you go into surgery, you got to. I behoove you to see this man. You don't have to take a shot if you don't want. He doesn't care, but he'll tell you where your problem is. Cause of pain. And then you discovered something else, which I never knew you treated.
TMJ?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we figured that out years ago.
Amazing.
And you can't get these cases away from the dentist.
Yeah.
They want to do the braces and all that. Don't do anything.
$2,500 for that mouthpiece.
No bracing, no restriction of motion. You want to create motion, not restrict it. Restriction only causes more trouble. It's the same thing in scoliosis. It's the same thing in TMJ. It's the same thing in back sprain. It's the same thing with ankle sprain. The more you restrict motion, the worse it gets.
It's like those weightlifters that used to always put that belt around them when they lifted weights. They're finding out now that they were never able to get the core strong enough to hold another weight.
Don't bring in core less. The core is kind of a stomach.
Really?
It has nothing to do with any backache. I
Right.
mean, you know.
That's why you're sitting over there answering the questions. I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
You're the
well,
doc.
this is common stuff that goes around.
Right.
You know, you got to test. You got to treat your core. That's a lot of baloney.
Right.
That doesn't cause a pain.
Right?
It's just bad.
It's just
advice.
muscle. It's just
Yeah.
stomach muscles is what that is.
Bad advice over and over again. My daughter came in from law school and she saw the piece that you did with the lady in England,
Yeah.
and she has scoliosis, and she's scared to death to come see you because she's been put through some of the.
Tell him to turn his mic on.
And it's on. And what they said was, she said she looked at the piece and she's gonna come see you now.
Oh,
For
of
her to
course.
Say that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no downside to what I do. It's very, very nice. I mean, this is, well, all my treatments are actually really well researched, and they're very fast, very inefficient. You don't have to do them twice, and that's what you want. Now, You don't have to come and see me at all, but this is all information you should have. Compare with the other people you go to. So there's a program, Orthopedics for the Primary Care Practitioner and Rehabilitation Therapist. I looked at the
Brochure?
the subject matter. There is nothing in here that anybody could use except the surgeon. These are put on by surgical staffs to create business for themselves. I mean, throw it away. Don't even go.
Hello? Okay, so let me ask you another question. So when someone comes in or they go to an orthopedic surgeon, they should get all the information and they should come to see you so you could at least give them...
Well, look, an orthopedic surgeon does not do musculoskeletal treatment.
Okay.
They're trained as surgeons, just like podiatrists. They're trained as surgeons. They do surgical approaches.
Right.
So why go there unless you're sent there by somebody like me who uses a medical approach? If I can't treat something, I will refer you.
Right, that's one thing a lot of people should know.
But you have to get results right away. You can't mess around. You know, we're not going to treat people for a year.
No.
2-3 days, that's it. You either improve or you're out of there.
Oh, and just before we go on a break, let me just say one thing. That number, 62, has gone up to around 78,000 that he's treated and still moving. We're going to take a little break now so Dr. Pinozzo could read some of these letters, and we'll be back with you in about 2 minutes. Thank you for listening. I'm going to give you the number so when you get back, 877-927-6969, and thank you. We will be back.
Have you ever had a business idea that you thought would be a great solution to tough challenges in today's world, but have no idea of how to get started? You don't want to waste investment money on ideas that just don't work. Introducing Health and Wealth Seminars, a sophisticated advertising agency with over 40 years in the ad business. What makes Health and Wealth different from other agencies is that they fit your product into the public's need. They help put together the strategy of your business before you commit thousands of dollars just to find out that those ideas don't work. Health and Wealth Seminars carries advertising contracts, radio and television contracts, and even a production service contract that'll cover all of your business needs. Call today, 954-303-9563, and let Health and Wealth Seminars carry your business to the next level. The number is 954-303-9563. And remember that what happens when you don't advertise is nothing. 954-303-9563 is the number you need to get your business started in the right direction. You're listening to Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you have constant pain and want to talk about how to get rid of it without surgery or medication, or simply want a second opinion, call Dr. Pinozzo now at 1-877-927-6969 to get your pain issues resolved. And now, more of Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour.
Hey, we're back with Dr. Pinozzo. If any of you people, we're going to put a challenge out to you. I want you to call 877-927-6969. If you've had a problem or you really, really are in pain, here's your chance to actually talk to Dr. Pinozzo, tell him what your problem is, and let him help you. Is that a good enough challenge?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to disseminate information, education, the way I look at your problem.
And that's what
matters.
That's how he got me to go see you. He challenged me.
Okay. Let me give you a couple of questions, Doc. This is from a former is this a bodybuilder one? No. This is from Michelle. She's a house mother in Boca. I have 2 sets of twins and work all day trying to keep up with them. I have pain in my ankles and legs, which makes it difficult to do some of the things that children need. I would love to go in and see you, but it's both the legs that hurt, and I can't be out for long periods of time. What should I do? I guess the answer is come see you.
And she's probably asking you, is it going to take a long time to get back?
No. We don't treat people a long time. It's 1 or 2 days, that's all.
See, that's the amazing thing, Doc.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, we used to treat people 3 months.
Wow.
That was, 40 years ago. But I've been at this a long time, and it's good business to treat people very quickly.
Get them in and out.
Because then they tell their friends about it. But if you we don't like to have people coming in a lot. So it's 1 or 2 days, and that's it.
Amazing.
I mean, what's amazing about this is, you go to some doctors, you're there, and I'm not knocking any doctors, but and the reason for that is you're able to find a cause of that pain, which a lot of doctors can't.
Well, that's what we work towards, and I have a unique perspective on this because we've been treating these things since 1968.
Wow.
And we gradually got away from the diagnostic and the electrical diagnosis that we used to do a lot, and more towards, because most of those nerves were normal. So now what was it? See, so that led me on to what's causing this pain, low back pain. Like, for instance, this lady just called, if her pain's in her ankle, both of them, then you have to assume that it's from the lower back. Now, we know where that is already. So we just treat it, and she's home free.
It's funny. That's how you treated me.
Yeah.
My
exactly.
ankle pain.
Yeah.
And I had it 4 years.
Yeah.
And when he told me about you, I said, I've had it for 4 years. Everybody tells me one thing or another.
Okay, we got a call from, looks like Laverne. So let me hit the air so you can talk to Dr. Pinozzo. You're on with Dr. Pinozzo. Hello? You're on with Dr. Pinozzo.
Oh, hi. Good morning. I have a problem here. My leg was hurting, and I go to the doctor. They say I have a disc problem.
Yes.
The doctor, they say I got to have a surgery, so I did. But the pain even worse now.
It's worse now.
Yeah. It's amazing that the people...
But this is unbelievable, Doc.
Yeah, see, your surgeon did not refer you to anybody to look into it, did they?
No.
What did he tell you?
They have to have a surgery because the disc crushing and all of that.
Yeah, but what did he tell you to do?
Have a surgery.
Another surgery?
Oh,
no,
gosh.
you walk away from that guy.
No, I haven't been back because, no, he didn't say have another surgery.
Oh, okay.
He said have a surgery.
I haven't been back because I'm saying it didn't happen the first time.
Well,
so
look, you need, there's many causes for that pain, and if the surgery didn't fix it, obviously they didn't figure out all the causes of that pain, so they only treated one. All right, so if you come in to see me, well, we'd go through the physics of the weight-bearing issue so that we would know what your bone structure is doing. The physiology of pain production is important. It's in my book if anybody reads it. I don't know if you're reading it.
you don't have that many left.
No, there's none left.
That's what I mean.
But you have to understand that there is always a cause for that, and you have to have a good history and examination to find it. And then we do a special film, though. Les, we have a special film that we developed.
I know.
And I have a patent on it, and no one else has it. So it is absolutely critical that you have that. And when my machine goes bad and I have to have it fixed, I'm out of work.
Yeah, we have to close down. He takes care of that machine better than his Mercedes. I mean,
I know. So yeah, you want to if you want to make an appointment, just come in. You'll be happy about it.
well, let me give you the doctor's.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Is he in more pain now after the surgery or before he
Well,
had it?
he had.
The back is hurting now, but the back never hurt before. It's what
There you
the
go.
guy goes
That's scar
looking at
tissue,
is
Well, look, that brings us to another. Thanks for the call. That brings us to another thing about surgery. Always causes pain. Remember, they're cutting into normal tissue. Now you have a scar there, and a scar does what? Pulls tight. That's what it's supposed to do. And every time you move, you're stretching it, and it hurts. Now we have a way of treating that, but that's essentially it. So you never want to cut into anybody's body, especially a back, if you're a golfer,
Oh,
especially.
we know there's a world famous golfer that might never play again.
He may not play again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be his fault. If he'd come and see me, we'd fix this up. I mean, we fix everybody.
Wouldn't that be
Why not?
interesting?
Well, we treat a lot of golfers.
Yeah, you do. And, it's funny what Freddie said. Wouldn't that be interesting if some of these golfers realize that their trainers might not have the right, they don't have the education to do what you do.
They don't have a clue on the medical problems of the golfer. Just think, you're standing at the tee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have this club, and it's really big because you think it's going to be better for you. It isn't. And you have to swing that thing, and you got to get that club head from the back of your thing, head, all the way down to hit the ball. And how does that happen?
Right.
There's an anatomy there. There's all these bones and ligaments and muscles all have to work in sequence to get that thing right. Now, what if you have a pain somewhere? It's not going to go right. You can spend $1 billion on lessons and not get anywhere because the problem is not the swing. It's you. It's your bone structure, ligaments,
So
muscles.
all you golfers out there,
Now, we did the research on this.
Oh, yes, I
So
know.
I'm not talking like
No.
like crazy. We actually can predict. We actually put somebody in. Here's what we do.
Okay, let's hear it. No, you want to hear this?
My tongue is falling out of my
That's
mouth
why you have to
there.
take a nap when you go home.
Now, here's the thing. We put somebody in front of a camera, and we give them a golf club. And we say, look, swing any way you want until you get that pain. When you get that pain, we're going to record it, and you put your finger on it, and then we'll take that pain out, and then we'll redo this film. And then on the second time, they don't have that pain. It goes right through. So that's a technique. So you're committing yourself to have pain. I'm committing myself to treat that pain. And it's just you and me, the golfer and me. And so we do what we need to do. We do our special film, we do our examination, then we do what we need to do. And in 10 minutes, we repeat this film.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that system.
We've seen it.
There is no
We've
way.
seen
It's
it.
scientific. It's predictable. You know, what is a science, Les? What is a science anyway?
Right. You want me to answer?
Reproducibility
Right.
and predictability.
Exactly.
If you can predict something and reproduce it, you got yourself a science. There is a science underneath that. That's why they can go to the moon. They know about that. It's predictable. They can do it. So this is the kind of thinking you need. It's out-of-the-box thinking, and it is correct.
So in other words, if we would have done everything that we're not supposed to do, we have never gone to the moon. So basically, folks, what Dr. Pinozo is, he's the guy that went to the moon. I mean, and I don't mean that to be funny. Is I have actually, this is not what I do for a living. Do a show. I have actually been into this man's office, and I've sat there with people that think he's God. He's a new Messiah. I mean, this man, so I always say to people, you know what? I would rather go to Dr. Pinozo, or anything. If someone else did the same thing Dr. Pinozo did, Freddie, I'd go to that doctor, or I'd go to Pinozo. He's the only one that does this. Why? Yeah. He dedicated his life to doing one thing, find the cause of pain. It's like when you see on TV, buy this vitamin and you take this vitamin and you lose weight. That's not everyone loses the same amount because no one's diagnosed why they got heavy.
They have to understand there's no technicians there, no
right.
therapists.
You do everything.
Nobody except me and you.
Right.
And that way you get the best there is to get. If I fail on it, well, I failed on it. But
and if you can't cure them, you would send them.
We're like 99% cure rate. So
I mean, can't go better than that.
Well, it's an amazing thing when you walk in there and you walk out with no pain. I'm a patient, and I'm not here with you because I am a patient. You're the only doctor that I know that comes on the radio and does streaming live, in person. You're not hiding from anybody, taking all challenges. I mean, this is unheard of. If you don't call, if you have pain and you don't call, you're just doing yourself a
By the way, Freddie, what happened to that lady from England? We haven't seen the takes yet.
I have it. You're going to be seeing right after the show. Right after the show. The amazing thing about the whole segment, for me, was her daughter.
The 15-year-old one.
Oh, my God. She did testimony, the 15-year-old kid.
Your testimonial.
And she'll tell you. And you didn't treat her with drugs in the beginning. You treated her balance-wise. And
he doesn't do drugs.
I'm saying he didn't put anything in her body or anything. He just used techniques.
Now, people are a little confused. We use drugs, but only injectables.
Exactly.
Nothing by prescription. You'll never get anything that'll confuse your mind from my office. Aspirin and the steroids we have to use. We have to use those. There's nothing else that takes inflammation out.
Right.
So if you want to, go treat it right, just trust my judgment. It'll be great.
Well, you're gonna tell us how you want people to see that, because I saw the spine on that lady actually go from a crooked arm.
It was amazing.
To almost straight.
Yeah,
I was amazed.
That's true. Yeah.
And when Dr. Pinozo looks at this today and gives his approval, you could go on his website. We're producing a new commercial, so you could actually see the X-rays that shows a person's.
This is actually true, what you just said.
Amazing,
and
amazing.
It's unpublished work. In other words, you can't go and in the literature or on Google and find this. It is not going to happen. This all come out of my evil little brain.
And you have the machine. No one has that machine.
And we have a machine. We prove everything.
Right.
And we have these two guys who are very critical and especially knowledgeable, and they see it all. I mean, what they're telling you is the truth.
It happened right in front of me. I can't even say it didn't happen.
Have I paid you to say any of that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, and I'm never going to either.
The funny thing is, my daughter didn't become a believer until she saw the video. She saw it, and she sat there. She saw it more than once.
Well, you bring up a good point there. One thing is we want to do this Institute of Musculoskeletal Medicine and have people come in and watch these things.
Exactly.
And then enroll in the treatment. They'll be ecstatic when they see it and they see themselves. We'll record everything. It's very cheap to record now. I mean, you can, hard drives are in every camera. You can record everything, which is like what you're doing. And now, on the machine that we're talking about, the C-arm, where as these people are being treated, patients are being treated, we have one disc just for them.
Right.
So that when we do it on this day and the next day and the next day, we put that disc in, record that. So when you play this DVD, you're going to see an improvement right along. Now, what more proof do you want? I'm, putting myself out. This is a knowledge-based program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not selling anything.
He doesn't need any more business. He wants people to understand that. He's not an alternative doctor. I just want everyone to understand he's a physician. He graduated from Ohio State University with a degree in medicine. He interned at hospitals. He's the real doctor. Okay, and I want people to understand that he dedicated his life to this because he felt the same thing as Jamis said. Almost 19,000. A month of people that are going in for surgeries that they didn't need, and they're coming out worse. I know two people, before I even met Dr. Pinoza, they're worse now than they were before they went in for the surgery.
But those are those stories. That's what's happening. They come out worse.
I mean, come on. You're going in. To me, I would rather go to you, and I don't care if it costs me $100,000.
It's even worse than that. A lot of money is spent on treatments and approaches, X-rays, MRIs ad nauseum. That all comes out of the general pool of money. You have to think of the insurance, government or private, as one pool of money that we're all paying into. It's either taxes or a premium. And when money is spent for no reason, it makes it bad for all of us.
Yeah.
So then after that, after years of treatment, then there's disability. So now the federal government is paying everybody every month to be disabled. And we're all paying into this. We can stop all that. It doesn't have to happen.
Insurance company should kiss you.
I think people should have a normal life.
Yeah. Quality of life.
Quit going to the doctor. That's why I treat people quickly. I said, get out of here. Go have fun. Go on the beach. Whatever you want to do.
And those surgeries aren't cheap.
No, they're not. The $65,000.
No, those knees. You know how I feel about a knee. No knees should ever be operated. You're talking about $40,000 per knee.
Yeah.
And they're throwing these normal knees away. They're burning them up.
And they can't run. Runners can't run anymore. They have trouble walking.
Well, they can't develop a design that does what a normal knee does.
Right.
It is not just a rigid thing. It moves.
A friend of mine, before I met you, he went in for knee surgery. I don't want to mention his name. Right. And I introduced you to him. And he said, Doc, I'm going in for this other knee surgery. He said, don't do it. This is on me. And you gave him 2 shots. He's running again. Except he's having trouble with the right knee that he went for surgery. Yeah. I mean, this is actual proof.
Well, here's what happens with these knees. They're talking about the revisions or replacement, and all it is scar tissue.
Right.
Titanium does not hurt, and that's what's in there.
Really?
The knee is gone, so what do you have left? You have muscles and ligaments that are painful. Those are all treatable really quickly, and you can go back in normal life.
He says to me, the knee that was operated, he knows just when. He said he doesn't have to see what the weather is. He knows just when it's going to be cold. He knows just when it's going to be rain, and his left knee is perfect.
That's funny because I always ask him, well, how does the weather get in your knee and tell you that? I mean, I don't know.
I guess it's a pain for. I guess people. Have,
no, it's kind of a.
Does it cause arthritis when they have knee surgery?
They're putting 2 to 2 together, which does not equal 3.
Okay. But I mean, does arthritis come from surgeries? Is that
Arthritis
possible?
is only a painful ligament.
Okay.
That's all it is. When people use that term, it doesn't mean anything to me. So where is it? That means more.
So getting back to scoliosis, because I have so many stories here that
it's
be a
tragic.
I mean, if you get somebody, I mean, when do you think the earliest sign is of when a mother sees that their child has scoliosis?
Well, it could
what
be
age group?
could be at least 2 years old.
And they would see that curvature on the child.
Sure, and autism is part of scoliosis. I think it's a bad neck. Autism. Right. It's the only that makes sense because it's not a diagnosis; it's an impression.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's no diagnosis.
So who's examining? People who don't understand musculoskeletal stuff. I'm telling you, it's a tragic situation. You got all this stuff going on, programs, and you say, well, what are you treating autism? How are you doing that? The therapist does it. I mean, this thing doesn't make any sense. In my office, the physician does the treatment.
And who's the guy that answers the phone to make the appointment?
Oh, I do.
And who takes the x-rays?
Yeah, I do.
And who reads them?
You bet.
Well, the autism, aren't they treating it as a brain malfunction?
There is no evidence of that.
No.
Okay.
They try to nail it for that, but there is nothing. And to tell you the truth, look at the numbers, how many autism kids are found. It used to be 1 in 400. Now it's what, 1 in 60 or something like that. I mean,
it's increased tremendous.
This is an abuse of the examiners. They don't have a clue what they're doing. I think people ought to stay away from those, but they won't. You know why? They're getting paid.
They don't think they have another answer, Doc. They're afraid. It's your kid, and you want to do the best by your kid. And they don't think they have another answer.
Exactly.
And they're listening to all these professionals with all these degrees.
Yeah. And what degrees are they? I went to the online to the Autism Association.
Right.
They're based up there in West Palm Beach, right here. And I went to the research section, and I found out where all this research money's going to. They're going to PhDs who don't even know anything about the body. I mean, you can't believe this stuff goes on.
Not MDs.
And the MDs are psychiatrists.
Right.
They're not musculoskeletal guys.
Correct.
You see? So the whole thing is being lost, and they don't have any information because they can't get it.
They're looking in the wrong places.
They're looking in the wrong places, of course.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that the scariest thing you've ever heard?
Yeah, because no one does what he does. I mean,
Now, for instance, let me ask you a question. If it's all in the mental and how you think, why is the therapist spending all the time treating them?
They don't know the answer. They don't know the cause of the
problem. We're wasting their money is what they're doing. They're
resources.
wasting time, resources, and everything else because they don't have a program. They don't have a program.
So let me just stop you for 1 second, because something, when we say the cause of pain, I just want people to understand what I mean by the cause of pain. We had someone come into Dr. Pinozzo who complained about an ankle pain. Now, she was going to that doctor. I don't want to mention his name, but everyone knows what kind of doctor it is. And she knew she was going to have a brace. Dr. Pinozzo did one thing, because I was there, I was watching, I was waiting to talk to him about something. I was going to take him to lunch, and he watched her walk. And he said, it's not your ankle.
See, that's the amazing thing.
I
because
mean,
you can
just by
pinpoint that you did it to my shoulder.
Yeah.
He put his finger right on the spine. He says, no, it's not your shoulder, it's over here.
Yeah.
He almost made me cry.
And what happened, he gave this girl, I just, gee, I don't want to take a shot. He said, don't think about something. Took the shot, she didn't. She winced for a second. She got up, and she said, oh, my God. I've been suffering this for so long. I was going to go to that doctor, which I don't want to mention doctors. I have nothing against doctors. I just want people to know that cause of pain. It might hurt you somewhere, but
it's called a diagnosis.
Yes.
You need a proper diagnosis. People are confused by that because they say, well, I have an MRI. MRIs should not be used for anything except a reference.
Right.
It does not diagnose
anything. It's not the Bible.
Well, look at how it's done. The guy who orders the MRI does not examine you.
Right.
Or doesn't know anything about it. That's why he gets an MRI.
Right.
The guy who reads the MRI is a radiologist who does not treat pain of any kind. He's just reading whatever he sees on there. But it may not be correct. Remember, it's a two-dimensional structure, not three.
Oh,
there is no exam there. They're just reading shadows. And so they're interpreting. I think they're taking more under their wing than they should. I think it's crazy. But anyway, so now you have a report that goes back to the first doctor who doesn't know how to treat that. And what does he do? He says, well, I'll send you to the surgeon because you have a tear, you have this, you have that. You have all kinds of things.
Bone on bone.
Buzzwords.
Right.
Bone on bone. That's a good one.
That's one.
There's all these buzzwords in these
Right.
reports, and when they come to me, I don't even read them. Well, did you read my MRI? I had it written, and the first thing people give me is an MRI. I say, well, look at that last. Let's examine you first. Find out what you have, and then we'll reference that to see if there's any correlation. But we're going to go by what I say, not by what that says.
Right. Right.
Well, there's the difference.
Yeah.
You're breaking the chain.
But yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. He's finding the cause of the pain instead of the symptom.
But what I'm going to end up with is a diagnosis, and not only where, but why, and what we could do about it. That has nothing to do with an MRI.
Exactly.
That has to do with me and the patient. So if they say yes, go ahead and do, then they'll walk out without that pain. You are not permitted to walk away, walk out of my office with the same pain you walk in with.
He will not
I
let
just won't permit it.
But the people actually walk out pretty fast. I mean, it's usually what when you had yours done, you were walking better in about what?
An hour.
Yeah, an hour.
I stopped traffic at the mall.
I know. I
couldn't believe it.
I almost got hit by a freaking car.
Yeah, me too.
That's
That's how they got to relax.
That's a really funny story. But you notice in a couple of minutes that the pain was abating.
Yes.
That's the painkiller. So that tells me we got to the right spot. Now, this is a technique we use. We try to prove everything, just like all the research we did. We prove it. And I've got to get all this stuff in the literature. But you know what? Every time I write a paper like this, they say that's not possible.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. We have documented
because
proof.
we're so far out of the mainstream of musculoskeletal treatment. I did a paper on back to work.
Right.
These were consecutive 100 people. I like even numbers because the percentages, you can do percentages better. I don't like 72 or 71 or 63, you know.
8.2?
Yeah. So it's 100. Now, these are all injuries at work.
Right.
And these people were all injured at work, and they came to see me right away, and we treated them. And guess what the back to work was? Percentage.
I would say about 95?
93.5% of people went back to work to the same job.
Amazing.
No time off. Okay, so I submitted this paper, and the editorial staff secretary called me and said, we can't print this because the standard is 35% in the country. I said, well, that's why we're printing this paper.
Right.
To show you that you don't need to do that.
Workman's comp goes out the window with you.
I mean... Oh, did I ever tell you the story about this lady in Cleveland called me up? He said, could you see a patient for me? I said, yes, I would. We saw it, and I called her back, wrote a letter. I said, this patient doesn't have any, needs this and this, and they'll be fine, go back to work. Well, she called me back. She says, well, if you're going to treat all these people, what am I going to do for a living?
You know, that's reality.
That's really reality. You're
That's
right.
really what it comes down
no,
to.
see, it doesn't work that way. That's selfish thinking.
Of course
Absolutely.
it is.
The better job you do, the more busy you get, because their company will show statistics of back to work. Now, companies that have the injured employees will send more to them, not less. So it does. You do a good job, and you get busier and busier. If you do a bad job, you don't have anybody going to you.
I agree.
Why would they?
Well, look at all the referrals you get.
Oh.
I mean, the kid with the migraine was taking, I can't remember, this really, really bad drug. The mother took him everywhere. No one could cure him. He didn't come back.
No, he's
taken care of, yeah?
Yeah, he got rid of the migraine, I think, in 2 shots or one.
One.
And the TMJ in
one.
In 1 shot. So you don't care if you want him out of there.
These are true stories, people.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not making anything.
And if no one believes this, I will guarantee you, I will take on any challenge. And I will show you documented proof. I will show you No, because
that's true. I've seen it.
I mean, it amazes me that people don't understand that Dr. Pinoza isn't trying to bring in more patients. He just wants to let you know that there's something out there that could get you back to a good life.
This is intellectual fun for me.
Yeah, we all sit and we talk.
I don't need to do this.
No, believe me, at our ages, all 3 of us don't need to do this. You know, I mean, you know, Freddie.
You don't need to do this. You don't even get paid.
I don't really care.
Well, the amazing thing is that people get
it's
their
karma,
life back.
man. If I could help people have it's always this thing, quality of life. I don't care if I live to be 81, but if I have a quality of life through all that time, and that's what you're giving people, Doc. And
that's right.
It's a quality of life to get back to where they can play golf.
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah.
Yeah, to get back to where they have no pain.
That's the object that you can do.
Quality of life. It's important.
You knew what you need to do without having any problems like that. And from my point of view, the faster I do it, the better it feels for me.
Yeah, it's karma. You're going to be rewarded in
So,
the afterlife.
So intellectually, it's what I'm trained to do. You know, I've been in school since I was 17 years old. I mean, you know, so this is a culmination of all that physics and chemistry and languages that I took. You know, it's just medical school and all the residency. So, you know, take advantage of it. Somebody can do that.
And there's very few people that do the musculoskeletal that I think you and your son are the only ones that do this.
Yeah, we're the only ones to do it because it's the training is not there in the programs to do what I do. It's just not there.
My producer's looking at it. It looks like we got to take another break, folks. We will be back, but let me give you the numbers to call Dr. Pinozzo. And please, don't call me at 58, we'll have 58 seconds left. The hotline is 877-927-6969. If you feel more comfortable to talk to Dr. Pinozzo directly, wait till 12 o'clock and call him at 561-381-5800. Don't be surprised when you hear this. Hi, Dr. Pinozzo here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
Pain is the body's way of telling you something is wrong. Surgery can do more harm than good. Pills can become addictive. Dr. Pinozzo uses engineered concepts and weight-bearing physics to resolve this pain and get you greater range of motion. Call today to resolve all those old excuses the medical profession has given you up to now. Call 1-877-927-6969. And now, let's get back to today's show.
Okay, folks, I'm going to read some of your questions so you people out there who sent them won't get mad at me. One from Miami said, my son plays football at a big program here in South Florida and hurt his shoulder during last season. He was a blue ribbon prospect and is deeply depressed because the doctors have advised him to get his shoulder operated on and miss the entire next season. This would hurt his chances of going into a top-notch school. What should I do, Dr. Pinozzo?
I don't think there's anything in the shoulder to operate on. I mean, it's very simply made. I mean, this is the kind of kid I'd like to see in the office for free if I have to. This is great.
Wow.
We put this kid right back in there.
Did you hear that one?
It's going to take 2 or 3 days, and that's it. No surgery. There's nothing to operate in the shoulder. You know, you're getting my honest opinion. There is nothing in the shoulder to operate on. You can examine for all of it. Treat each part individually, and it goes to normal.
Wow.
I don't see it.
So, I mean, this could cause this kid...
I got to tell you a story about a patient of mine who called me up. He said, my MRI said everything is ripped out.
Oy.
Ripped out?
Ripped out. Painful. I said, how did you do that?
Oh, the border's lighting up.
He said, I lifted the...
He said ripped out, Doc?
He said ripped out from an MRI. The MRI said everything was ripped.
Hello? Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Torn. That's the thing they use, torn. I said, well, how'd you do it? By lifting his trash bag. I said, you can't tear anything doing that. You have to fall out of the Empire State Building to do that.
Really?
So I said, come on in. So he comes in. There was one little ligament sprain. I put a shot in it. He walked out pain-free. I mean,
so it was no torn out?
You cannot be. There's no way to tear anything. It's a sprain, perhaps.
Okay, we got Jeff on the line. Don't mean to interrupt you. Jeff wants to talk to you. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Dr. Pinoza, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I just caught some of your show here. Could you explain to me a little bit about your training? You said medical school at Ohio State. Did you do residency in a certain field and fellowship in a field after that? And I also just mentioned, or I heard you talk about the baseball player and the likely non-operative treatment. Is there any conditions that you see that are absolutely operative, or that you say no question you do need to talk to the surgeon?
The only thing that should be operated is a fracture. That's it.
Okay.
Or scar revision. You could help it a little bit that way. But no, that's I don't like surgery at all for any musculoskeletal complaint. As far as residency, the physical medicine and rehabilitation at Ohio State, which turned out that was the best program in the country, and I just stumbled on it. But that was a great program. Dr. Ernie Johnson was the professor in charge there. So that was 3 years thereafter, an internship at Philadelphia General Hospital.
Okay.
And
right,
so this is all I've done for 40.
Some odd years.
How many years?
46.
48. We got
46 years. Yeah,
Are you okay with what Dr. Pinoza said? Because we got a whole bunch of calls coming in. Is there anything else? I'll be more than happy to let you talk to Dr. Pinoza. You can call him at 561-381-5800. Again, Jeff, thank you for the call. And now we
Did I answer everything for Jeff?
Yep. John.
Drop first.
Hey, John.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm okay. You're on with Dr. Pinoza.
Dr. Pinoza, how are you doing today?
Good, good.
Good question. When you're talking about athletics and stuff like that, when you say you can heal the pain, but will that athlete ever, this kid you guys were just talking about with the torn shoulder or whatever his mom was talking about, yeah, you might be able to cure the pain, but will he ever be able to perform at the same level?
Yeah, of course. If you don't have the pain, you perform at the same level, of course. If you get operated, you cannot, because now you have a scar tissue to deal with. You see, there's always a downside to surgery. The surgeons won't tell you that, but there is. I don't know of anybody who's been operated who is a top-notch athlete that goes back to being a top-notch athlete. Do you?
No, well, and that brings up an interesting story because I actually played football at a very small college, and I'm 36 now, so it's been a while, and I actually tore.
That's what they said, but it's probably.
No, we'll see what you say about this, but I completely severed my ACL.
Don't bring up ACLs.
No, we don't hear
such
that.
thing. I absolutely will not hear that. There is no way you can hurt an ACL. Absolutely none. And if you come in to see me, I'll show you.
Let me give you the number, of course. We have a full board here.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, real quick. I just want to say that I had MRIs done. My ACL is completely severed, and I can still run, play basketball, do anything that I want, golf, whatever I want, without pain.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think anybody needs any kind of surgery. I mean, if you do the same, if you didn't have the surgery.
John, thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
We got a full board. No problem, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Hi, Pete. How you doing, Pete? You're on with Dr. Pinoza? Hi, Pete. You're on with Dr. Pinoza?
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, the reason I'm calling you is I've been, this is almost going on 8 years now, or maybe close to 10, with painful heels, okay? And they've been saying forever that this is plantar fasciitis, okay? And it's in both feet pretty much the same all the time. And, matter of fact, just last week I went and I got a cortisone shot in one of the feet, one of the foot. Anyway, and it seems to relieve it a little bit, but it just keeps coming back and coming back.
Yeah, well, it's not been diagnosed properly. If it keeps coming back, that means the diagnosis is not secure. So that's the first thing we do is give you the proper diagnosis for that. Plantar fasciitis does not exist. It's up in the ankle. We can show you that. If it's Achilles tendon area, then it's probably coming from the lower back. You cannot hurt an Achilles tendon. I've never seen that hurt at all. It's just too strong. Just like the sacroiliac joint. It's just too strong. You can't hurt that. Next.
Nancy, I'm sorry that we had you on hold so long, but if you want to call back, Doctor, I will take your call first, Nancy. Again, I do apologize. 877 927-6969. We got, sometimes, Doc, they don't want to hold. So now let me give you another question here.
Well, I wanted to make a point. The procedure of the ankles, that's how you went in on me.
Yeah.
And I was told the same thing. And I couldn't walk. And it was like this for years. And no cortisone. I didn't want to take any of that stuff. And my ankles are still fine. And this is amazing.
Right.
So it's exactly what he is describing. He's living with it 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Well, that tells you something about him. If he keeps with the same idea, if it was me, I'd trash that idea in a matter of weeks.
That's right.
This can't work.
They keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Is that the thing about, Nancy, okay, I promised Nancy. She called back, Nancy. Here we go. I got another one coming, so okay. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
I promise I'd take your call.
Hi.
I appreciate it, but that's part of the problem. It hurts just to hold the phone that long.
Oh, wow.
What hurts?
My problem is, and I'm not sure if I'm using the proper terms, but I would say it's my forearms. Both forearms, more on my right arm because, of course, I'm right-handed and I use that one more. But just to, like, pick up the phone or to pick up a cup to
bring it up
to drink.
Can you straighten out your elbow?
I can. It's not the elbow. It's like that muscle.
Yeah, okay. Then it's lateral, probably epicondylitis, we call it. Yeah, that's treatable rather quickly.
You want Dr. Pinozzo's number, Nancy? It's 561.
These are all injuries.
561-381-5800. And right after the show, you can call them.
There's a good point that she's making. How did she get it? You cannot stop an injury from happening. If that was true, the NFL would be pain-free.
That's exactly right.
But what you can do is only hire people who are not already hurt.
Right.
Now, that's an aspect that they're not doing. So think about that one.
Nancy, I'm sorry, but I got to take Chad's call. Nancy, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
Thanks
always.
for your time.
Right.
Okay, we got Chad. How you doing, Chad? You're on with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. It's Tad, T-A-D.
Oh, I'm sorry. He wrote Chad. I apologize.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
All right, Doc, I got a great one for you. I'm a kite surfer. About 6 years ago, I came in really strong and landed in shallow water. Had MRIs. They said I tore all four of the rotators, my meniscus, everything. And, I didn't have surgery. And it sounds like, Rice Krispies when I, moved my right shoulder all around. And when it happened, I couldn't get my hand off my thigh. Now I'm pretty good, but it hurts a lot. It sounds like Rice Krispies, and I can't get a gallon of milk up into the refrigerator.
Okay, well that's treatable. Yeah, we've treated him worse than that.
I know.
It's you need a good evaluation, which we could do, and tell you what we would do for you or what you should do for yourself. So. Yeah, we would see that. That's a special approach we use. Remember the examination of the shoulder and all its parts we did research on that. We figured out how many parts there are, how do you examine for each one, what are the symptoms of each one going bad. Now that's not done usually. See, people don't do this kind of work that we do. So it's worth to have at least an opinion. So if you come in, we'll give you that. Thank you.
Chad, let me give you the doctor's number, 561-381-5800, and thank you so much for your call.
That's like when I came into the studio, and I had the same problem with my shoulder, and you looked at me, and you put your finger in the front of my chest over here, and you said it's in the front of the chest.
Yeah, that examination is quite superb, isn't it?
That was unbelievable.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And
Absolutely
all
amazing.
I did was find out how it was created.
Mm-hmm.
How it's designed to work, what it's supposed to do, and how to diagnose what it can't do, part by part, and it works. It works just fine.
He put his finger right on the spot.
Cause of pain.
I mean, it was amazing. He did it with his touch. He touched my shoulder. He says, it's not here, it's not on your shoulder, it's over here, and boom. I mean, I saw stars when you put your finger in there.
I worked a long time to get that touch.
That's unbelievable.
He's got that magic touch.
Mr. Touch.
Mr. Touch was able to go in and feel where the pain is.
Will it help my love life, though? That's a thing.
Well, Doc, that's another show. We'll give you to the love doctors, and you can talk to them.
Okay.
So I think I have time for one more call. This was Sally from New York. She said she's retired to South Florida. She worked too long as a waitress, and now her legs are pained all day. She soaks them in ice every night, and she thinks from watching your show, thank you so much, that this man knows what he's doing. I don't like to take medication, and I don't do drugs. Well, explain to them. We don't give them drugs.
We don't do drugs, and there's no medication except what I have to do by shot.
Right.
So that's well worth it. Believe me, when I put a shot in there, it's going to help you virtually 100%.
So it not only
now somebody listening to that say, "Well, the guy's been smoking something." No,
no, we don't do that.
We do this every day.
No.
I mean, what do you have to do to lose, Doc? You're in pain 10 years, 6 years. Yeah. Me, 5 years.
Yeah.
But he gets rid of the pain. That's the beauty of it is he not only gets rid of the pain, but it's not coming back again. The area that he shot.
Treatments are good if they're done in a proper area. Even I fail sometimes. I mean,
we
if
all do.
The pain doesn't leave right away. That's why I say you're not leaving the office until that pain is gone. That one you walked in with. So the whole thing works. Give it a try. Don't suffer for nothing. Come in for an exam.
Make your make your second appointment your first by calling Dr. Anthony Pinozo, 561-381-5800. Now, Doc, you see patients what days? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right. Yeah. And we're trying to get them to work more, but you know what?
I'm not doing it.
No, we're not doing it anymore because I think seeing patients from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, it just goes continuing. That's why I have to bring them a bagel every once in a while to keep them happy. Guys, thank you.
It's amazing how all these stories of people calling me about pains, different parts of the body, you treat them all.
Yeah, we treat them all.
You don't need a specialist for the arm, the leg.
No.
Top of the head down to the bottom of the feet.
Exactly.
You know what they say? If you just take one thing, it's like the general practitioner who looks at 9 million things, and the first thing he says, I'd go to a gastroenterologist about that.
You see, people don't understand this. The whole body's related in the process of weight bearing.
Mm-hmm. I told you folks to wait till 12.
Well, we got to wrap it up. The music is playing.
The music. Okay, everybody, again, thank you so much for tuning in to Dr. Pinozo, who's there to help you. You can always reach him at 561-381-5800, and we'll be back next week on Father's Day. That's how concerned we are about making everyone healthy.
Dr. Pinozo.
This has been the Dr. Pinozo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pinozo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pinozo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pinozo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pinozo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.